She is often called the most powerful and influential woman in the world. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be exploring the life and career of Oprah. Oprah Gail Winfrey was born January 29, 1954 in rural Mississippi. Much of her turbulent youth was spent in poverty, and she was constantly moved around the country to live with various family members before she had even reached her teens. Oprah displayed great intelligence and speaking abilities early on, and these were encouraged by her grandmother and father. She went on to win a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied communications. Winfrey worked at a local radio station and moved to a local Nashville television station, where she became the youngest news anchor and the first black female news anchor. She finally relocated to Illinois and took over hosting duties of AM Chicago.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Oprah Winfrey, the new host of AM Chicago, and I am thrilled to be here.
Just months later, the show had overtaken Phil Donahue's talk show in the ratings. She quickly signed a syndication deal, and on September 8, 1986, the first countrywide hour-long Oprah Winfrey Show debuted. It was also around this time that Harpo Productions was founded, with Winfrey as president. As a host, Winfrey was credited with being better attuned to her audience than other talk show personalities of the day, and with changing the tabloid format. She was able to connect with her audience and interviewees by revealing stories about her past. For example, in 1986, she disclosed that she had been molested in her youth. She was also vocal about her weight and relationship problems. In fact, this type of public confessional therapy was dubbed the Oprahification of television. Oprah also helped raise the profile of gay, bisexual, transsexual, and transgender people, and this helped those groups gain mainstream acceptance. Aside from addressing the issues on her talk show, Winfrey also guest starred as a therapist who helped Ellen DeGeneres come out of the closet on her sitcom in 1997.
You're gay. So what are you going to do now?
I'm going to Disneyland.
By the 1990s, her show had broadened its format. She discussed health, spirituality, literature, and social issues, in addition to the celebrity interviews for which she had become famous.
Part of happiness comes from having great vision and having a passion.
And great sex.
In 1993, Oprah made television history once again. Her primetime interview with Michael Jackson became the most watched interview ever and boasted a worldwide audience of over 100 million. Oprah also made memories when she wheeled a wagon full of fat onto her set in 1988 and when Tom Cruise infamously jumped on her couch in 2005. Winfrey's talk show also resulted in something called the Oprah effect. This was the suggestion that Oprah Winfrey and her show were powerful enough to influence the American public in terms of book sales, religion, spirituality, and even political opinions. In 2000, Winfrey helped found the Oxygen television network, and in January 2008, Oprah announced she would be starting her own specialty television channel called OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network, and it launched in 2011. That same year, after 25 years on the air, The Oprah Winfrey Show aired its last new episode on May 25, 2011. Despite a fall in ratings, the show had remained the #1 talk show since it first aired in 1986. Oprah spent much of her career in front of the camera, but not all as host of her talk show. In 1985, she starred in the Steven Spielberg film The Color Purple, and this role garnered her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress.
I loves Harpo. God knows I do. But I kill him dead before I let him beat me.
In 1998, she produced and starred in the film adaptation of the novel Beloved. She went on to produce films and lend her voice to a number of children's features. Winfrey has also found success in the magazine industry with her booming O Magazine, which debuted in 2000. With a net worth that approaches $3 billion, Oprah can count herself as the world's first black female billionaire, as well as the United States' richest self-made woman. She is considered the most influential African American of her generation and the most influential American woman in history. She also donates more of her money to charity than anyone else in show business as an extremely active philanthropist.
Hello everyone,
As you have already guessed, today we're going to talk about one of the most influential and powerful women in the world of nowadays, of the 21st century, and she's Oprah Winfrey. In fact, when I was deciding what to choose for our next lesson, I've made my mind on this person not only because she is one of the self-made women and the most powerful women in the world, but also I wanted to choose someone who is originally from the English-speaking country, because I wanted it to fit my program, because we are learning English, so that's why I needed a person who can speak English really well, so that I can show you some of your speeches or interviews. So that's why I have chosen her, this personality. And to be honest, as for me, to some extent I really like her. I like her personality, her bravery, the fact that she made herself from nothing. But I'm not in favor of all her views or opinion or attitudes towards the most controversial topics of nowadays, like gay matters or transgender equality and so on, because I'm deeply devoted to the pillars of Islam, because I am a Muslim, so that's why I don't approve them at all. But nevertheless, I thought that it would be interesting for you, and I thought that it would be you can get useful things not from this lesson, not only in terms of language but also in terms of spirituality. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we will talk about your biography. I know that you have just watched this, but nevertheless I wanted to give you some short summary of your life, and I will read it now, and then sometimes I will stop and give the translation of some words that you may not know. So Oprah Winfrey is one of the most influential women in the world. Media executive, it's like исполняющий директор, actress, talk-show host. Host — это вот кто ведет такие ток-шоу. TV producer, journalist, and philanthropist. Philanthropist is a person who likes giving a lot of charity to others. And she is famous for her talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which was broadcast from Chicago. Broadcast, it's a verb, это транслировать, and it's irregular verb, and all the three forms are broadcast, broadcast, broadcast. So that's why you shouldn't put ed here. You shouldn't say which was broadcasted. Okay. This show has been the highest rated TV program of its kind in history for 25 years. So it started, if I'm not mistaken, in 1986, and it finished in 2011. And she became the first richest black multi-billionaire in North America. In 2008, she formed her own network. It's like a TV channel, Oprah Winfrey Network. She was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi. Rural, it's kind of village. Her mother was a teenage single mother who later worked as a housemaid. Single mother, мать-одиночка, housemaid, домработница. Winfrey spent her first 6 years living in poverty with her maternal grandmother. She was so poor that Winfrey often wore dresses made of potato sacks. Одевала одежду, платья, которые сделаны были или сшиты из мешков, да, картошки, в которой содержится, хранится картошка. For which, получается, мешки такие. For which the local children laughed at her or made fun of her. И местные дети, конечно, над ней смеялись. Her grandmother taught her to read before the age of 3 and took her to the local church, where she was nicknamed the preacher for her ability to recite Bible verses. Ей дали кличку The Preacher, проповедник, for her ability, за ее способность, когда она читала наизусть стихи, из Библии. When Winfrey was a child, her grandmother would hit her with a stick when she did not do chores or if she misbehaved in any way. So her grandmother was very, very strict. Была очень строгой. Иногда била ее с палкой, если она не делала домашние какие-то дела или вела себя плохо. She had lived with her mother for several years, then she was sent to her father Vernon. He was strict but encouraging and made her education a priority. Okay? She has stated that she was molested during her childhood and early teens and became pregnant at 14. Her son was born prematurely and soon died. And I think that this is the most tragic and the most, how to say that, shameful thing in her biography for her, I mean. So, она призналась, не помню в каком году, что она была как бы в молодом возрасте, где-то, когда ей было 13-11, где-то в таком возрасте, что она была подвержена сексуальному насилию и даже забеременела в 14 лет, и у нее сын родился как бы недоношенным и вскоре умер. Winfrey's career choice in media would not have surprised her grandmother, who once said that ever since Winfrey could talk, she was on stage. То есть ее карьера никак бы не удивила ее бабушку, потому что которая сказала, с тех пор, как она умела говорить, она всегда как бы была на сцене, то есть вела себя. As a child, she played games, interviewing her dolls. Winfrey later said that her grandma encouraged her to speak in public and gave me a positive sense of myself. Okay, and now we are going to talk about a little of grammar, because you know it's we are learning the language, so that's why sometimes we should have some grammar. But I'm not going to explain everything about this present perfect tense, because I will send you a link to my video lesson on only the present perfect, and you can watch it if you have some problems with this tense. Only I wanted to have it here in your PDF format in case if you need it. So in present perfect tense, in each tense in English, there are three things that are most important to know. So the first thing that is the most important is the uses. Okay, even if you know, for example, formulas and you can make sentences, if you don't know the uses when this tense is used, it's gonna be in vain. So that's why you should know the uses. And for present perfect tense, the first thing that you should know, it's action which is finished and which is completed, but it's connected to the present. For example, I have lost my keys. Okay, you can say I lost my keys. Я потерял свои ключи. And also you can say I have lost my keys. Into Russian it also it's translated like я потерял ключи. Но в английском I have lost my keys означает, что ты сейчас не можешь куда-то зайти, and you have some problems. So that's why it makes difference in English when you say I lost my keys and I have lost my keys. For example, other people, I know native speakers, they may not understand you if you say I lost my keys when you have just lost your keys. Если вы только что потеряли ключи, и вы сказали I lost my keys, они поймут, как будто бы это было давно. Потому что сам past simple, он это для таких вещей, которые не связаны с настоящим, которые в основном были когда-то. И также, еще раз повторяемся, recent events, недавние действия. Fact and result is important, time is not important at all, so that's why you shouldn't use yesterday, last year, 2 days ago, in 2019. So don't use these time expressions in this present perfect tense. So if you want to say вчера я ходила в кино, don't say I have gone to the cinema yesterday. No, only past simple is possible here. You should say I went to the cinema yesterday. News, новости, всегда в present perfect. Купила новую машину. I have bought a new car. Мы переехали недавно. We have moved recently и так далее. И experience, опыт. Все, что вы в своей жизни проделали. Какие страны навестили. Просто как факт, как опыт. Например, я прочитала там 20 книг. Просто как опыт. Или, например, я никогда не пробовал черную икру. Это все будет present perfect. И вот эти слова, time expressions, они для вас как маяки, ориентир. И когда вы хотите сказать, уже что-то сделал, только что, еще нет, или недавно, ну или когда-либо, это конкретно ever, never, это вообще просто то, что касается опыта. Ты когда-либо ездил за границу? Have you ever been abroad? И так далее. То есть все это я, естественно, сейчас объяснять не буду. You can watch my video lesson and then you can make the most of it. Okay, and there are some sentences. The Oprah Winfrey Show has been the highest rated TV show for 21 years in a row. Вот этот шоу, он был самым высоким, с высоким рейтингом в течение 21 года подряд. И вот здесь у нас has been выходит, окей? То есть он пробыл самым, считался самым рейтинговым ТВ-шоу. И это у нас относится к опыту. Дальше. She has been a host for this show for 25 years. Она была ведущей в этом шоу в течение 25 лет. Или she has started a book club. Она начала, или как бы у нее есть книжный клуб. Как бы начала книжный клуб. Просто как факт. И не указываем, когда это было. Если указываем, тогда здесь has впадает. Okay, and these are one of your famous quotes. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. Okay, it's easy. I would like to thank the people who've brought me those dark moments when I felt most wounded and betrayed. You have been my greatest teachers. Здесь как раз есть пример для Present Perfect, поэтому я выбрала его. Я бы хотела поблагодарить всех людей, которые принесли или внесли в мою жизнь те темные моменты, те, когда я чувствовала себя больше всего раненой и которые предали, и вы стали моими самыми великими учителями. И вот здесь who've brought me тоже как experience, как накопленный опыт какой-то, да, и вы были не просто you were, а you have been, потому что тоже как опыт, накопленный опыт. Дальше. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. No, it's easy. I had no idea that being your authentic self could make me as rich as I've become. If I had, I'd have done it a lot earlier. Я, говорит, у меня не было, то есть я не имела никаких знаний, что быть собой, authentic это как оригинальная версия себя, да, authentic self, что может сделать меня настолько богатой, как которой я сейчас стала. Вот здесь опять у нас present perfect. I have become. Если бы я знала, я бы давно это начала делать. Ну, это уже вот это время мы скоро пройдем. Это не время, это conditional. Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Будьте благодарны за то, что вы имеете. В конце концов, у вас будет больше. Если вы сконцентрируетесь на том, что у вас нет, у вас никогда не будет достаточно. Everybody has a calling, and your real job in life is to figure out as soon as possible what that is, who you were meant to be, and to begin to honor that in the best way possible for yourself. У каждого есть свое призвание, и ваша реальная, самая главная работа в этой жизни – это выяснить это насколько возможно быстрее, и для чего вы созданы, и начать это ценить в лучшем, как говорится, в лучшем виде для себя. Okay, so this is about your quotes. And now some words and phrases, but I'm not going to read all of them because it's easy. I have given their translations here, so that's why we will just move on. And this is going to be your tasks for your homework. And first of all, I wanted to present here some extreme adjectives. Extreme adjective, it's which has an absolute meaning themselves. They are not gradable, okay? То есть extreme adjective, усиленные прилагательные, перед которыми мы не ставим слово very. То есть они и так являются усиленными. И мы не говорим, например, very delicious или very disgusting. Но когда вы хотите, when you want to say very tasty, don't say very tasty. It's gonna be a bit boring because tasty, it's from the level of elementary beginner, so that's why I say delicious. Okay, delicious. So it shows your level of English. When you want to say very unpleasant, очень неприятный, say disgusting, отвратительный. Очень грязный, very dirty, filthy. When you want to say I am very hungry, say starving. Very small, крошечный, tiny. Very big, огромный, enormous, huge. Very beautiful, stunning. It's like ошеломительный, ошеломляющий, очаровательный и так далее. If you want to say very tired, очень и очень устал, you should say I am exhausted. Very good. There are a lot of synonyms for very good, like brilliant, fantastic, wonderful, amazing. So use them. When you want to say very bad, say awful, horrible, terrible. When you want to say that it's very scary, коркнышто, страшный, frightening, you say terrifying, and very surprising, it's astonishing. Okay, so now in this exercise you should complete these sentences with these extreme adjectives. Next task is speaking. I need your speaking task to be sent to my WhatsApp. And the first question, what do you think of Oprah Winfrey? What kind of personality is she? Were you impressed by her life story? And if yes, what were you impressed by most? What has she achieved in her life? And this is a question. I know that we have already covered this, and I have already told you everything that I know about her, but you should use present perfect, so that's why you should answer these questions as well. So what she has achieved in her life. Now these questions are for you. Have you ever performed on the stage? Когда-нибудь выступали на сцене? It can be, for example, making a speech, making a report, доклад вы делали, выступали с речью, or you performed, you sing or dance, or maybe something like this. So I want you to share it. What was it like? Каково это было? And what did you do? So next question, it's about experience. What have you accomplished in your life? Accomplish, it's a verb to tell что вы достигли или завершили, или что вы конкретно сделали в вашей жизни. What have you done? Okay, it's not about, for example, some achievements, great achievements. Например, я написала книгу или там. No, it can be, for example, companies you've worked, в компании, в которых вы работали, место работы, books you've read, years you've devoted to your family, те годы, которые вы посвятили своей семье. То есть, если вы никогда не работали, и вы всегда были заняты с детьми, вы тоже можете написать, например, я все время растила своих детей. So, skills you've learned, какие-то там навыки, которых вы научились. Научились кататься на велосипеде, for example, or рисовать, or something like this, or pot plants, сажать какие-то растения, countries you've visited, people you've helped, etc. So this question is for you to use present perfect. Next, continue these phrases telling about yourself. Recently I've heard that. Недавно я слышала. Недавно я узнала. И продолжайте как можно больше. Next. How would you say these sentences in English? I don't actually give sentences for translation because I think they shouldn't translate literally, word by word, from Russian into English. So that's why I want you to say these sentences. How would you say them in English, okay? It's not translation, it's how to say that. Как вы передали бы эти мысли на английском? Okay. This task is going to be about listening, watching, and then giving your opinion. I will send you a link to Oprah's one of her famous speeches in front of Harvard graduates. Okay, so it's going to be a video 2 minutes long, so that's why it needs some time to watch it. So after watching it, you should tell what was her main idea, her message. So you should work out the meanings of these words. Okay, you can use dictionaries if you want, and you should write down some quotes and phrases and thoughts that you've liked and share it with me. То есть из этого видео вы должны записать какие-то фразы, цитаты, мысли, которые вам понравились, и затем со мной поделиться. So this is the end. I hope that it's not so hard for you, that it's not so difficult for you. If it is, you can skip some of the tasks, okay? It's okay. Don't lose your motivation and don't skip your online lessons. So stay tuned and be positive. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.